Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. I have been chatting with a couple different photographers who are just feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now because weddings are happening again and it's a little bit wild. And so I've been sharing one of my favorite resources for editing. I do have a personal editor, but we use Vital Edit as well. So prior to her help, I was exclusively doing Vital Edit and then kind of organizing the photos myself. And so I thought, if you might be looking to outsource something and you've never done it before, or you've never tried an editor, or you're looking for a new editor, I would share behind the scenes of how this works and what we do. So I use Vital Edit. I love them. I will say this. I think that beginning a new relationship with somebody like a new editor or a new company like this is just like any other relationship. You have to put in a little bit of work to get the results that you want. You have to have great communication. You have to be open about it. You have to be able to, converse back and forth. It's communication, making sure that your expectations are clear, what you like, what you don't like. And so I would definitely recommend, don't expect perfection. Like they're learning your style as much as you are learning how it works to outsource to them. So make sure that you're communicating quite a bit too in the process. But this is how it looks when you first go. I'm already signed in, so you might have to set up a profile. I do have a code that I can give you guys. I will make sure that we link it for you as well. So you guys have access to 25% off of another order as well if you use that code. It's a referral code that they give us. So feel free to use it or not, whatever you choose. But what I do is you can check out here. They've got different services and pricing. I typically do pay as you go because I'm not doing quite as high of a volume anymore with them. So they do have monthly plans, or you can do pay per image pricing. And they've got other studio plans and all kinds of other things as well. So right now I'm just doing the per image pricing. They talk about the process. You can build out custom examples. One of my favorite things about using Vital Edit, and I'm sure other companies do this as well, is that you can actually give them your presets and say, hey, please use these presets. Or for if you're a hybrid photographer like I am, I'm mostly film, but then I shoot a lot of reception details with reception photos with digital. I can say, hey, I shot most of this wedding on this stock of film. So you can also let them know that too. So, okay, so what you do. So let's walk you through the member area. It's pretty straightforward, but I thought it would be helpful. I know if you're like me, sometimes it's helpful to see. There you go. There's my referral code, 7424_EM. So if you want 25% off of an order, in addition to whatever other orders like intro offers they offer, I would sign up with that. So you can see I've got quite a few different ones here. I love that I just submitted these two last night. So as soon as they check them in this morning, they will put a due date and let me know exactly when those when I should get the photo. So that's super helpful as well. So right now I have a rehearsal dinner. They've received those photographs. They've gotten to work on it. Those are due on the 16th. Sarah and Landry, they've received those orders, and both of these, this one is uploading still right now too. So when you're starting a shoot, it's pretty straightforward. You go to submit shoot. You have all of the options that you need right here. It's so easy. You can just do image selection. If you want them to cull for you, you would check that. If you just want color correction here, if you have retouching your Photoshop, I would my personal preference is to save retouching your Photoshop or creative editing for like specific images, because that would bump up your cost quite a bit. So if you had like specific ones that you're like, oh, there was, a million people in the background at the beach and I want all those people touched out, I would actually get the initial edits back from them and then upload those as a separate order. So that way you're not paying for creative editing on everything when you really only need it on like a handful of them. So my kind of baseline is usually this: image selection, color correction. That's usually where I begin. Now, if I'm only selecting these two, what's going to happen? They're not going to crop or straighten anything for me, and they're not going to be converting it to JPEG. So that means they're going to be delivering that as an XMP file. What you'll do is you'll go into Lightroom and you'll have the raw files in a folder, and you'll download their XMP files. You'll drop them into the same folder. And then when you're in Lightroom, you'll select all the images and you'll tell it you'll go to metadata, read metadata from file, and that will read the data from the XMP files to allow their edits to apply to your raw files. It's pretty amazing. So that is definitely like the quickest way to like download and get things up and going. Now, That's perfect if you want to make some more tweaks. So I would say begin with that, unless you're in a place where you're already just so bogged down and you're like, I just got to get a wedding out there. I got to get it done. In that case, I would say go ahead and do cropping and straightening and convert raw to JPEG. I've even done renaming as well, where I'm just like, put them in order. You can have them categorize it for you if you want. You can do as much or as little as you want. But take advantage of that. I would say be specific to what feels true and aligned for you. There's no right or wrong way. Some of the ones that we do, I will just do image selection and color correction. I typically will do cropping and straightening if I'm having them edit it anyway. But then this is like hit or miss for me, where sometimes I will have them do that because I know that I just need to get that wedding delivered. I just need to make sure it's on time and that I'm serving my clients really well. And then other times where I'm like, no, I actually really want to go back through and like make sure every little thing is perfect, or I have some additional film scans that came in or something and I want to make sure I match it. So there's lots of different reasons for that. So anyway, it's pretty straightforward from here. So you would put your shoot event name in here. Let's just say Kathleen and Jacob. It's a wedding. The total number of raw images, let's say that I had like 1125. Upload files. Yes, I always upload files. I was like, what are the other options? So this is where you would say how many images do you want them to keep. Let's say you wanted them to get it down to like 850. And I think you guys get to see my little notification there too. We're hiring some new support for our kids, for a babysitter and nanny. Anyway, so in here you would see the color correction, all of this stuff too. You can choose how much black and white you want here. I typically say uncorrectable, and then I will put in the notes if I do want some of the reception photos in it. Otherwise, they're going to just kind of say like 10% all throughout the day would be black and white. And I typically don't prefer that. I want everything to be in color except for maybe a few reception photos. That's typically how I do things. Camera time synced. Yes, hopefully you remember to do that. Cropping and straightening. You can kind of see all of this here. So it's costing me $51 for them to crop and straighten everything. You can certainly not do that if you feel like the majority of yours are pretty perfect. And if you want to go back and do that time, if you're doing just the XMP files and you're not having them convert to RAW, then I would definitely recommend that. Or if you don't mind popping them into Photoshop to correct them later too, that's another option to save you that $50. But how much time will it take you to do that? Is it more than an hour? If it is more than an hour, I would say $50 is a no-brainer. Your time should be worth at least $100 an hour minimum when you're thinking about outsourcing. So that's a great benchmark. Converting to JPEG, it's costing me $25 for them to take all of those edits and then export it to JPEGs, and they're going to deliver me the JPEG. So that way I can download the JPEGs, pop them into Bridge, organize them, upload them, rename them, upload them, and then we're good to go. So that's how we do things here. When you start to earn points, you can actually apply that. So I could actually apply this and I think get $15 off, but you can see the total here. Now, this is a large wedding. I mean, a lot of times this is costing me like $150. Even so, even if you're looking at $300 and you're like, ooh, I can't afford $300, I really want to challenge you. How much time would it take you to do that wedding? Would it take you, again, use that $100 an hour as a benchmark. Would it take you more than 3 hours? And could you spend that 3 hours making $300 in some other area of your business? Could you spend 3 hours sending out like hey, we have an album sale, or creating some like promo info for albums or for prints? Or could you spend that 3 hours making more than $300 in some other area of your business? The answer should be yes. Hopefully you can. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Once you hit submit your shoot and you've uploaded it, you will have the option to create folders. In fact, let me see here. Oh, I think I can do it in here. Let me go to, I don't think you're going to see it right now because it is uploading in a different, so in here, I actually create different folders. So I will create like this one I shot with a Canon and the Fuji GFX for the digitals. And then a lot of times I'll also put in like film scans as well. I'll show you one so you can see. I will also, I think with, let's see, Sarah and Landry, I will also put my, second shooter. So right here, I've got edited film scans. So I got film scans back from Richard Photolab. I did some little tweaks on them. I uploaded those. So they have those as a reference. So then I'm uploading all of my raw files and all of my assistants' raw files, and they can match that. They can organize that however they want. They can make sure everything is flowing really well, but that way they have the film scans as a reference. So that is one of the beautiful, beautiful things about using a company like this. I love Vital Edit. I've been using them for many years. Because I can say, here's a film scans, please edit to match that. So anyway, I hope that's super helpful for you guys. I thought a little practical tutorial might be a fun way to mix things up a little bit. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you try them and what your experience is like. And let me know if there's any way I can support you as you build the relationship with them to get it to what you need so that you can ease up your workflow and you can get back to doing what you love, which is shooting and enjoying your life, getting outside, enjoying the outdoors and traveling and enjoying your kids. So, because that's what this is all about. Most of us didn't get into it because we love editing. So I am a firm believer in it. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I could get on my soapbox, but I'll be done here. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me know, guys.